Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremony is about to begin. Please find your seats and silence all electronic devices. We'll begin in about a couple minutes. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. My name is Chaplain Charles Gormley, and I will be the narrator for today's ceremony. Today we honor Chaplain Major Jeremy Caudill on the occasion of his promotion to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Colonel Tim Monroe, Wing Commander of the 319th Reconnaissance Wing. At this time, please join me in welcoming Chaplain Caudill's family in attendance with us today. Chaplain Caudill's wife, Miss Laura. His children, Celeste, Benjamin, Samuel, and Helen. His mother, Miss Phyllis Caudill, and also viewing online, his father, U.S. Air Force retired Tech Sergeant Lanny Caudill. His mother-in-law, Karen Wadkey, and his extended family and friends. And to all other senior leaders, co-workers, and friends of the Caudill family, welcome and thank you for attending today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation by Chaplain Monsalve.
At this point, I would like to invite all of you to join me in prayer for Chaplain Caudill, his family, and for all of us here present. Let us pray. Almighty, ever-living God, creator of all, as we gather to celebrate the promotion of Chaplain Jeremy Caudill to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel, our hearts are filled with happiness for him and for his whole family. You have prepared Chaplain Jeremy for this day and bless him with this special trust. You endow him with abilities of mind, body, and spirit, more than equal to the task. You gave him leaders, mentors, and peers to help him along the way. You sustain him and protect him in days of difficulty and peril. Remembering that to whom much is given, much is required. We ask you to direct his steps and give him the strength to carry out this new responsibility. Endow him with the spirit of wisdom and justice. We know all too well our weak and fallible human nature, and we recognize that the work which lies before us is demanding and complex. Yet, O God, we thank you for calling us to this difficult and rewarding work. Let Chaplain Jeremy and all of us, Lord, in the ways of peace, unite us in the spirit of service, nourish and sustain us in our vocation. For we ask in your name, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Monsalve. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Colonel Tim Monroe.
All right. Well, we appreciate your attendance on the occasion of promoting Jeremy to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Phyllis, thanks for being here, making the trip up from Louisiana. We know Lanny's watching from the live stream. So, sir, thanks for your service to our nation. And it's great to see the rest of the family here. I'm going to have a few more words for you in just a little bit. Celeste, thanks for making the trip up. All right. Colonel Dominguez, thank you for being here. Chief, great to see you. Lieutenant Colonel Hine, our Wing Chief of Staff. We've got the Paynes in the house. Great to see the command team here. Gene taking more time off. All right, it's always good to catch up. Okay, Carly, Amy, thanks for representing the Wing staff. Great to see everybody, and these are always very special occasions for me to be able to preside over someone's promotion. I think it's appropriate that we talk about a couple of things before we officially do the oath and we pin on those really nice silver oak leaf clusters that you see on the TV screen. One is acknowledge where we are in time as a nation. Military service is a very unique calling. It is not for everyone. In fact, statistically speaking, less than 1% of the American population will volunteer to put on the nation's uniform, whatever that service may be. What a special thing to be able to share in the military culture, the military community, and the military family with all of you. Because the country needs people to look up to. It needs people that can be role models. It needs people who do something in service to something much higher than themselves. This one has a special flavor to it. I have not promoted a chaplain before. That's what's different. When you talk about serving something that is a much higher calling than oneself, there are things that go much higher than the physical, the nation that we proudly serve and defend. He's chosen to put on a uniform and take this beautiful family to places around the country and around the world to serve the people that he believes are part of God's creation. That's part of his calling. He wears something very different on his uniform than almost everybody else in this room. And it's a cross on his left shoulder. What a great thing that we can be part of a team where people like Jeremy Caudill gladly choose to serve in multiple capacities. To do that in service to one's nation, but to do it in service to one's Creator. That's what makes today very special. I think that's the first thing that we need to acknowledge. Here's the second piece. When you are being promoted in the officer corps, unlike Lanny when he served as an enlisted member, we don't have a little book that tells you about the officer force structure. We do for the enlisted side. I love that book, as a matter of fact, because it helps you understand the very specific expectations as you step into a new rank. But because it doesn't exist on the officer side, I'm going to go freestyle a little bit. Here are your expectations as a lieutenant colonel. You don't need to take notes like you make me do on Sunday morning. When you hit the tier of lieutenant colonel, especially in the chaplain corps, it's very rare to go past that. Very rare. But for all lieutenant colonels, when you are making that transition inside the field grade ranks, which are major, lieutenant colonel, and colonel, you are now placed in a position of specific and elevated responsibility. That comes with legal responsibilities because you are an officer, and momentarily you'll hear me give Jeremy the oath of office. That's different than the enlisted oath. As you enter the grade of lieutenant colonel, you're expected to do a few things. If it wasn't clear to you already, you are now very much a part of what we call Air Force senior leadership. Makes you sound old when you say it that way. But it means a couple of very specific things. You're a custodian of the profession, which means that outside the walls and outside the things that you do in your professional capacity, you are meant to uphold the standards of who we are as an Air Force. Sometimes that's hard to do because it means that you have to be a beholder of the standards, of the culture. Those two things we're spending a lot of time talking about as an Air Force right now. But you're also expected to make difficult decisions. Sometimes those will be associated with your specific profession. Oftentimes they will not. Because more often as a lieutenant colonel, you get put into positions where you are asked to provide advice and counsel on the most consequential matters to your organization, to the institution. That's a very special thing. A very small component of our officer corps wear the rank of lieutenant colonel. And I can tell you, it's very rare for a chaplain to be promoted into that rank. We're blessed to have the Caudills at Grand Forks Air Force Base. You have any questions on those expectations?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay. Laura, thanks for being a great military spouse. So we got Celeste, Ben and Sam, and Helen. You're all awesome. Your dad's very proud of you. And we thank you for what you continue to do. And as a matter of fact, all of the military spouses and families that are here, we owe you a debt of gratitude that is very difficult to put into words and we could never repay. But you support him. And it's a privilege to be here with you to honor the occasion of the promotion of your spouse, of your dad. But it's really a celebration of the family, the work of an individual that's supported every day unconditionally. Thanks for holding him accountable. Thanks for showing him some grace. And thanks for your willingness to continue to pack up and serve our nation. I would offer a couple of things before we give Jeremy the oath of office. If you wear the uniform in here today, thanks for serving our nation. If you're one of our civilian counterparts, thanks for your service too. We need you now more than ever, and it is a great, great day to be a Griffin. And I'm extremely proud to offer an opportunity to give an oath to a great man, somebody who continues to be a great servant leader for our installation in the Air Force's newest lieutenant colonel. Thanks very much.
As is customary, Colonel Monroe will now administer the oath of office to Chaplain Caudill. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jeremy Caudill,
Having been appointed a Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the publishing of the promotion orders.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Jeremy Caudill. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the next higher grade, Major Caudill is promoted to the permanent grade of Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force, effective the 1st of December, 2024, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. At this time, will Miss Laura, Celeste, Benjamin, Sam, and Helen please come forward to assist with the pinning on Chaplain Caudill's new rank?
Yeah, I should practice this one. Yeah, we did. Takes a village.
You can never practice this enough.
Oh, there was two.
Yeah, there's two. Yeah, just stab that on there. Yeah, we'll fix it.
If you've never tried to put a frog on a rake when your hands are shaking, it's almost impossible.
All right, good job. Got it. Ooh, all right. Okay. All right, ready? It's okay, girl. Go ahead. Yeah, you can come over here. Yeah, she's good.
you, Colonel Monroe, and thank you, Caudill family. Please take your seat. It is my privilege to introduce for the very first time Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy Caudill.
Yay!
Congratulations, the floor is yours.
All right. Oh, this feels rather familiar. I don't know if they told you, but there's like a 10% sort of giving that happens when you enter, so you can make the checks to me. Good afternoon. What am I doing up here? I remember joining long time ago and coming on to active duty, and all my wing chaplains were lieutenant colonels, but they were like 400 years old, right? And so now I'm they. I've become them, and I'm the old guy now. I don't know how that happened, but I'm honored to be here. Thank you, colonels, chiefs, friends, coworkers, family, for being here. You didn't have to. It's Friday afternoon. I get it. You probably want to go home for the weekend, but thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. First, I want to thank God for my life and my career. Without Jesus, I would not be here. I promise you that. My mom is sitting right over there, and she can attest to you that I probably wasn't always the best kid, right? And she's probably as shocked as I am that I'm a chaplain today. Proving God has a sense of humor, right, Mom? Yeah. It's cliche to say it, but I certainly didn't get here myself. I am a product of all of those who went before me. Colonel Monroe, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for being willing to come here and officiate my ceremony, and I'm grateful for you. You are a servant leader in every regard. It is not lost on me that not all wing commanders teach Sunday school and make coffee. And Jenny, thank you too, because you serve as well. You exemplify what it means to be a servant leader, and I am honored to have you here, and I thank you so much for officiating. Let's give him a round of applause. I am blessed to be able to do what I do. I'm honored that the Air Force thought that they should keep me serving. I was debating on hanging it up and becoming a ski instructor, but I guess I'll just continue on doing what I'm doing. They voted for me. And again, the person I am today is a product of a lot of leaders and coworkers and friends who supported me and took care of me. I'm indebted to each and every one of them. I would name them all. They're watching online right now. They gave me a chance. They allowed me to fail, and they allowed me to get back up and keep trying. And so you know who you are watching, and I thank you. I'm going to say a couple thank yous, and we'll go eat, okay? Sound good? All right. We got good stuff. Dad, I know you're watching me from home, and I really wish you could be here. I want to say thank you for teaching me the value of hard work and never quitting. Thank you for showing me that all work in life has dignity. No matter what you do, as long as you're working unto the Lord, it has dignity and value, so thank you. Teaching me that responsibility and courage is hard, and most of all, for showing me unconditional love. There were a lot of times where you could have dropped the hammer down on me, but you didn't, and you continue to love me, so thank you. Mom. Hi, Mom. That's my mom, y'all. Thank you for always teaching me to dream big and to love life. You never stifled my imagination, and as weird as I was, and I was very weird, you let me be weird. You let me be a long-haired hippie skater dude, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your long talks about life and God and dreaming and just being there for me. And honestly, I thank you for answering my phone calls in college when I was trying to learn how to cook. What's a teaspoon, Mom? What's a tablespoon? Is this chicken done? How do I do this? How do you have to put the whites with the darks when you're washing laundry? Thank you. You helped me make it. I appreciate that. Kids, you guys are awesome. You're awesome kids. And I'm blessed to be your dad. You have let me drag you all over the world, and you have embraced every place we've lived. You eat bizarre foods. You ski like pros. You embrace different cultures. You love travel and adventure. And most importantly, you love the Lord. And I'm a truly lucky daddy, so thank you. And I'm gonna mention each of you, and I'm gonna try not to cry, but if I do, forgive me. Celeste, you're amazing. You're incredibly talented and resilient. You're killing it at college right now, and I'm super proud of you. Ever since you were little, you have been driven, and I'm so amazed at how well you're doing and your heart for missions and how you are living your calling there in college. You can do whatever you want with your life, and I cannot wait to see where the Lord leads you. I'm not going to look at you. You're going to make me cry. Ben, you're an amazing young man. What I love about you, Ben, is that you are a very kind-hearted person and you love the Lord. When you see someone in a social setting, you'll go up to that person. If they're alone, you'll go up to them and be next to them. Like, not a lot of 16-year-olds will do that. I certainly wouldn't have. I'd be like, I ain't saying that guy, he's weird. But you will go up and befriend those people, and I love it. You're tender-hearted, and you want everyone to feel included. And you have a maturity, dare I say, an old soul, much beyond your years. You're curious, inventive, and incredibly smart. You tell me facts about physics and engineering, and I just smile and kind of nod at you because I have no idea what you're talking about, but you do. So you keep being you, and you keep being hilarious and super witty, and I love you. Sam, hey man. Sam, you are the happy little light of the universe. You are just like, you never have in a bad mood. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're smiling, you're tender-hearted, and I know how much you love God, and it's beautiful. And I pray, that the trips to the ER will slow down a little bit. But that's okay, we got good insurance, we got good medical coverage. So you be you and keep having fun. I love you, buddy. Helen, my little leader, how are you? I love you so much. You're a super cool kid. You're funny, smart, and driven, just like your big sister. And now that she's in college, you kind of rule the roost. You know that, right? Sorry, boys. That's the way it is. I can imagine you running a Fortune 500 company one day, or be leading an armed revolt to take over a sovereign nation. Whatever you choose. Whatever you choose. You're a natural-born leader, and I can't wait to see what God has for your life. I know you love the Lord, and that's really all that matters. Laura. Nope, not looking. Right here, read this. If it weren't for you, I promise you I'd be dead in a ditch somewhere. I really would be. Or at least I'd be living in a van down by the beach saying, dude, way too much. You're my best friend, and after 23 years, right? 23 years, we still love each other just as much as those goofy kids who got married all those years ago. Your heart for God, your dedication to our family, your patience with me are so beautiful. I can't thank you enough for taking this journey with me. Thanks for listening to me when I'm had a bad day and I vent about work. Thank you for loving me when I'm a complete moron. And I truly would not be here without you. Probably because I couldn't find my car keys. Or my wallet. I promise you that. Staff, Chaplain Gormley. Sergeant Griffin in the back, Father Mansalve, you guys are awesome. Thank you for making this special, putting this on today, for your hard work, your dedication, and your care for each and every person on this base. I never have to worry about you guys. You are out there, you're doing the Lord's work, and I thank you so much. Friends, family, fellow airmen, countrymen, thank you so much for being here. It's my joy to serve with each and every one of you. And we're going to eat some cupcakes in a minute, but first I have some gifts to give out. So thank you for being here. Yeah, it's kind of self-congratulatory. It's a clap for myself.
Thank you, Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Caudill. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. As we conclude today's ceremony, we invite you to stay and join us in congratulating Chaplain Caudill and his family at a reception directly on my right down the hallway at our fellowship hall. Let's remain standing together for the singing and playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official family and the official party.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our thunder. At above, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun! Now we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This concludes our promotion ceremony.
Exactly.